So we've tensioned all of these up with all stock heads that come with the drums. Let's show you the sounds. Before I do, just mention to you, stag ribbon, so you can see that in the picture. One of them, that's placed on the side, facing the drum, because naturally the mic is at that point there. And then we've got a stag again, actually fantastic prices on these. This is an SDM 70, and that is facing over the top of the drum. But we have got the same EQ and the same volumes for every one of these so that you can tell the difference between them. So first up is our old Premier snare that's got the fiber heads. So this is the extreme. So next up is the RS1, but this is with top and bottom snare on. I'm going to do all three combinations now. Okay. So with the top head off, bottom snare only. Top snare only. And again, don't forget, you could adjust, if you only were using the bottom snare, I could adjust that again to get that little bit more snatch on the snare itself. So this is the RS1P, a little drier in sound. I kept it with a reasonably loose snare because when you really tension up the snare underneath, it goes very dry indeed. But it works nice with a slightly slacker snare drum there. Pretty again, all the tensions are pretty much the same for each drum, by the way. Okay, let's give this a try. So now we have the RS1C, shorter in its depth, same diameter as the others, snare only on the top. And again, tension pretty much the same as the others. So finally, the RS1Y. This is the standard snare attachment that you'd get on all British Drum Company snare drums for kit playing as well. So bottom only. Here we go. Now we've covered all the marching snares. This is the British Drum Company Big Softy. So this is a different animal, but I'll show you. This is quite a firm tension. We've done similar, not cranked up to that extent, because you wouldn't do it with the standard snare. But it's got 10 lugs as well. It's a beautiful snare drum. With a little bit of dampening on this, I put a little O-ring for a kit. That has got a really sweet sound, not overly tensioned, because it's pretty high-pitched as a snare drum. But give you a little comparison of what a standard snare at a high-pitched setting is in comparison to them. Get your words out, Lee. Here we go. I got a tutty down for this. So you can see that all these marching snare drums have a different characteristic. Although you can get one quite close to another depending on the model, like with the Premier and then the RS1, I think you could pretty much get them identical depending on the drum head that you use and the style you want to play. But if you want to get into marching feels, into rudimental drumming of the hands, the reason I suggest for all drummers to get into this is it improves the quality of the hands. Now you can use traditional grip if you wish, but you can also use matched grip if that's what you use on the drum kit. It doesn't matter. It creates the knowledge in the mind of how much work has to be applied in the hands, how you hold the sticks, the textures, the modulation of playing so quiet to be able to strike from a tap to a strike. And when you apply that then to the drum kit, surely that's going to make it sound much, much better. Rather than your poor drum kit snare is just whack all the time, wall up, wall up. You're now playing it more. So if you like grace or ghost notes within your playing, a marching snare drum to me is the answer for you.